Hush, y'all, hush. Welcome back to Turnt with T.S. Madison on Fox Soul. My next guest is the host of her own TV show, Marry Me Now, where she coaches women through proposing to their longtime partners. Welcome to the show, Rebecca Lynn Pope. Now, let me get my cue cards for you, sister, because, you know, I want to ask you the proper questions, but I also want to come off the grid just a little bit.
Let's be a little good and a little bad.
Ooh, can we do that?
Yes,
All
we
right.
definitely can.
So my first question to you is, how did your new show come about?
Well, I'm a YouTuber, so I have been a life and love coach for almost 15 years and written books, the whole nine. And I've been approached about shows a lot over the years, but this one came along and it was the first project where I felt like I could just be me, not have to pretend to be anything, just really show up, be myself, and really help women.
So what makes you certified in being this coach girl?
Life experience.
Life experience.
Living it. Yeah. Mostly life experience though, Maddie, like just going through hell. Like just all the ups and downs, and I think a lot, being someone who is willing to try and willing to go after what I want, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but it gives you a lot of life experience and a lot of wisdom. I like to tell people I got it all wrong before I got it right. So it gives you a lot of depth of experience to where you can recognize if someone's operating from a place of fear or if they're operating from a place of faith and joy and peace and bliss. You can recognize that right away because you've lived it.
I'm glad you gave me that answer. Are you married now?
I'm married.
Your husband is in danger, I know.
Listen, he's amazing. He supports me in everything that I do. I consider my husband, I went through a hellacious divorce. I mean, I was married very young for about 10 years, got divorced, started dating, did not meet my husband until 9 years later. So single for 9 years, in and out of relationships. But I learned so much during that single time with dating. That's how I learned so much about men. Because if you just listen and you pay attention, and my analytical brain just compiling all of the data, it brought me to a lot of wisdom and intelligence around men. I have a lot of male followers because I tend to just, you know, shoot it like I see it. I just keep it 100. No matter if I'm talking about women or men, I try to be just as fair and raw and real, no matter who I'm talking to.
What are the keys to a healthy relationship?
Trust, communication, honesty, love, a healthy mindset. An individual needs to be healthy and mature in order to show up and have a mature and healthy relationship. If you've got two unhealthy, immature people in a relationship, the relationship is going to be immature and unhealthy.
What is cheating? What is it? Because some people have a notion that if I didn't do it, I didn't cheat.
If I didn't have sex, it's not cheating.
Or if I didn't, or if because we're living in this new age now of social media.
Yes.
Where the inbox is crazy.
Emotional cheating is so common. Before sexual cheating, before there's ever intercourse, there's emotional cheating. I'm confiding in you, I'm talking to you, I'm hiding it from my partner, I'm not being honest about these conversations, I'm not being honest about this lunch meeting, not date. You don't want to call it dates, right? But there's a lot of emotional cheating because people are seeking validation and help and trying to get their needs and wants met in other people instead of looking at their partners and being able to require that. So cheating to me is anything that somebody is being disloyal, hiding, lying, or just outright just not being honest about. If you got to duck and dodge and I can't look at your phone or there's something you hiding, then you're cheating, even if it's not sex. It's a break of trust, a break of communication, a break of a pattern. If you formed a pattern, every relationship forms a pattern of behavior. You start breaking that pattern, you're cheating.
I tell y'all people all the time, especially men that have been following me for years, the reason why you get caught is because the pattern changes.
And they think they being slick and that we don't notice nothing. No, you acting real strange. You're totally out of pocket right now. What's going on?
The pattern changes, the whole situation, like it's just out of sync. You know, usually you're vibing and you synced with.
And we have to remember, Maddie, we are spiritual creatures. We are spiritual beings. All of this is just wrapping. This is just packaging. At the end of the day, all of us have a spiritual sense if you tap into it. You know in your gut when things are going on. And the more you trust that, the more it guides you to truth.
So what are the benefits of having a relationship coach?
Well, it's like having a mentor. It's like having somebody in your life who's been through what you're going through. And if you have a goal that you're trying to reach, then if you know someone knows how to navigate that situation in life and has successfully navigated it. So what I suggest to people is when you're looking to hire a coach, make sure that coach has those results in their own life. Make sure that whatever they're preaching, teaching, discussing, advising, that they've been able to reach that level of success for themselves, because proof's in the pudding, right? So if you want a financial coach, get you somebody who's really good with money and money is stacked, right? And there are receipts for that.
Receipts.
You want a love coach, relationship coach, they need to have success in love and relationships.
Do they necessarily need to be married?
No, they don't necessarily. If they're a marriage coach, yes, be married. But if you're a love and relationship coach, you need to have healthy relationships. You need to have somebody who's healthy friendships. This shows up in every area of your life. You should be able to have great friends, loved ones, family, all the way around. Even if you're just dating somebody, it should be healthy and loving.
So what's next?
For me, I am going to be focusing on my books. Maddie, people are hurting. This is what the show showed me. Young women are hurting, young men are hurting, people are hurting. The world is hurting. I don't know what's going on in the world today that things have gotten this bad, but between social media and everyone just striving to catch up or keep up with everybody. It's just this insane race that everyone is in. And our young people are suffering, our young women are suffering, the suicide rates are going through the roof, psychological, mental health issues. The world needs healing. That's what I saw so clearly from doing my show. So you're gonna see me focus a lot more on coaching, courses, therapy, programs, community, outreach, any way that I can help do my part to help people heal, because we've got to start dealing with the root issues of problems, not the symptoms of the issues.
That was real deep.
Yeah, people are hurting. My heart was broken over this show, just the women and just the situations that people are in. I mean, I cried every single episode. Every single episode, I'm crying.
Really?
It's heartbreaking.
So, you know, when you say that, it makes you really feel like that there's really no, I don't feel like that love is a real, like, I mean, I've been in the space for many, many, many years. And I really don't think that love is a real, like, it's not real no more. Like, I'm like really in that space of thing. I know that if I love a person or when I love a person, I'm loving from that place of I
have a big heart.
Yeah, I'm loving from that place that it's true for me.
Right.
But
and you'll give your all to it.
Yeah.
And trying to find that in someone else is so hard because we're living in a world where people are not real. They're not authentic. They're not even being who God created them to be. You're not, like, if you aren't showing up real and authentic, then how can you attract real love? And so, Maddie, if you showing up, this is me and this is it, I'll give you all of me, that scares people. They're hiding. They don't know how to do that. You're like a mirror, like a light. And you're showing up honest and transparent and real. Not perfect.
No.
Nobody's perfect.
No, because I'm definitely not perfect.
Right. But in all of your imperfectness, saying this is still all of me and I'm owning that. And people are so far away from that, so ashamed, so hiding. Everybody's hiding. And so you showing up as you, that's the right track for you to attract true love. You just keep showing up, being honest and real, and keep processing through whatever you do need to work on. You know the areas you need to work on. You keep working on it, and it attracts love. Love is real. God is love.
Yeah.
It ain't going nowhere. Love is real.
I believe that it's real because God is love. I just feel like that between two people.
So here's the key. If you challenge yourself to get as real with yourself as you possibly can, as authentic, transparent, vulnerable, I mean all the ugly, all the dark, every area in your life, and you decide, I'm gonna really deal with me, it's going to then attract people who show up for you in a more authentic way. And it's gonna be somebody, honey, you never had in mind. My husband was someone, if you'd have asked me a year before I met my husband, I'd been like, oh, hell no. What? Me marry a pastor? You crazy. You absolutely nuts. I said I would never marry a
Oh,
pastor.
so you're a first lady.
I don't even like that title, Maddie. Listen, I will run. Okay, listen. Everything is a trigger for me when it comes to religion. Trigger, no. But yes, so at the end of the day, it's when we begin to let go and we begin to trust God and we begin to say, okay, wait, there is love for me. One of the things blocking love is you just said, I don't know that I believe in love anymore. The fact that it's coming out of your mouth and that you're scared to say, maybe it's not real anymore. You've got to be able to say, I believe in love because God is love and God is real. So I'm going to believe in love and trust in love. And guess what? Out of the power of you saying that and believing that, it's going to be attracted back
Well,
to
I've been
you.
trying to get my brain out of those.
It's
I've been
hard.
moving forward trying to do that.
When you've been hurt and let down and misled and run amok, right? I mean, when you've gone through hell, it's hard to keep believing when your heart's been crushed. But that doesn't mean it's not real. It means those people weren't the right people for you, period.
Don't go anywhere because we have some more after this. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Turnt with T.S. Madison on Fox Soul. I'm here with Master Life and Love Coach Rebecca Lynn Pope, and we're about to play a game. I'm going to name a celebrity couple known for having relationship issues, and you, Rebecca, will give your best relationship advice. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
so let's do it. Kanye West and Kim Kardashian.
Mental health.
Yeah.
I would say I believe that he loves her wholeheartedly. I believe she loves him. I believe she was dedicated to him through a very difficult time of mental health struggles and just finally got exhausted and couldn't deal with it any longer. I think that his mental health issues became worse after his mom died, the grief. And she was his number one confidant, almost like his counselor. She kept him straight, kept his head straight, and guided him. And without her presence, he began to really struggle and has continued to struggle. So I believe it's a couple that sadly, without the right mental health professionals being involved and being able to help guide, that it was doomed.
It was doomed.
It was doomed. Mental health is huge. I mean, dealing with somebody who you don't know who you're waking up to every day. And you can see by just how crazy everything's gotten through the divorce, and he's just triggered and he's lashing out and he just can't handle it. And we feel like, oh, she's moved on so fast. She's just throwing Pete in his face. But she was dealing with so much behind the scenes for that last few years of that relationship that by the time you really finally get out, you're just ready to live and you just want to be happy. And so I think it's not necessarily flaunting as much as she's just happy and she's relieved. I mean, coming out from underneath the stress of dealing with their married life day to day.
Okay. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith.
So we're going to keep it 100. So have you read his book?
No, I have not.
Okay, so there's a long history of trying to please women, and he has a lot of trauma and pain. His mother was abused by his father. His father would beat his mother, and he felt like it was the biggest failure of his life to not protect his mother from his father. He has a huge theme in his life of trying to please women. And I think that he, let's just be honest, I'm just gonna keep it 100. I believe that 90% of the people who are together right now, even married, probably shouldn't be together or not right for each other, but you make these choices or that really God didn't have nothing to do with it. You just choose somebody and then you want it to work so bad. And he's been very vocal about saying he's never wanted to get divorced ever again since that first divorce, that he said, I'm never getting divorced again. And I think you have a situation where he loves her more than she loves him. Mm-hmm. She never wanted to be married. She's been very publicly said, I didn't want to be married. I'm not the marrying type.
I just watched the clip from
right. I was in love with Tupac. She's still talking about Tupac 20 something years later or whatever, just all kinds of craziness. I believe she's into an alternative lifestyle that I don't think he was exactly down with. I've seen men like Will trying to please their wives. They'll do a whole lot of different things to try to hold on to them, try to make it work. And I think we're publicly witnessing the complete meltdown of a man who has compartmentalized his life. He has amazing professional success. But personally, he's very much struggling and he's hurting deeply. You got lots of personality issues. There's some narcissism going on both sides. There's a bunch of different stuff going on in their dynamic, but it's a mess. And what we witnessed was a public meltdown and a representation of mental illness and things that are going on that hasn't been addressed.
There we go back with this mental illness thing. Oof.
He's hurting badly, almost like an emotionally abused man. That's what I equate Will with. My heart goes out to him. I think he's a very good man. I think he married the wrong woman, and marrying the wrong woman can destroy a man's life, just like marrying the wrong man can destroy a woman's life. I think that he would have been better off with a good girl next door, the good girl next door type, you know, that would just be supporting and loving. But often good guys want the bad girls. And they go after that difficult, high maintenance, bitchy, you know, and that's what they like because they like the strength. But it's not necessarily a fit for their life and their goals.
In the future.
In the future.
My God, today. All right. What about Martell Holt and Melody Shari, formerly known as Melody Holt from Love and Marriage, Huntsville?
Well, I'm glad they got divorced. People talk about all the time divorce isn't of God. Divorce. Look, if you marry the wrong person and you're not happy and your life is hell on earth, then that's not where God wants you to be. That's why proof is in the pudding. And somebody who's been cheating
and got a whole baby.
And a whole baby on the side.
While you pregnant.
So this is where I say that some of this stuff is mental abuse and emotional abuse and spiritual abuse. Women who are in relationships where a man cheating and you just gonna keep putting up with that is tearing down your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your worth, your self-respect. You're losing yourself over time. Trying to hold on to somebody else, you'll be losing yourself. And I just believe that at the end of the day, who we are, we've worked too hard to be where we're at in life to lose ourselves over anybody, especially somebody's dusty son. So keep it moving, move on with your life, find somebody, that right person for you. Like I said, there's a lid for every pot. There's somebody for you.
And my last couple on the list, Waka Flocka and Tammy Rivera.
Well, I think that sometimes we have to know that choices we made at certain seasons of our life are not always a fit down the road, especially if you get with someone in your 20s and now you're 35. You could be in a whole different place of life. You on a whole different level. You in a different spiritual pace, mental space, everything. So this is why I believe that marriage is for mature people. I don't think that people who are immature and young should be dedicating them saying, I take a vow to dedicate my whole entire life to you. And you don't know what's out here 20 years down the road and who you're going to be if you're still developing into the adult that you're going to become. And I also think that we can fall in love and love people, and it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to stay married to them. And you can have really healthy co-parenting, loving relationships that are healthy, and it doesn't mean that you have to be together anymore. That goes against what people think of in romantic traditional terms, but I believe that souls can love each other forever, and it doesn't mean you have to be committed to them.
Right, I believe that too. Now that I believe, that I believe. I told you I didn't believe earlier, and I said, but that I do believe that. Yeah. You know, and I do believe that soulmates are not always. Soulmates can be platonic.
Yeah, friends. I had a girlfriend, we were best friends for 15 years. She was definitely like a soulmate friendship. It was a connection of purpose and divine connection that helped us both to get to where we were supposed to be. But when that season of friendship was over, it expired.
Well, mine died.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry.
You know, and it's just, you know, it was a very weird thing. And I was like, well, because I've always asked God, am I going to meet my soulmate?
Yeah.
And then when I really looked over it, I was like, I did.
Yeah.
And, you know, because it hasn't been a person like that for me in my life ever again.
Yeah.
You know, except my mom. You know your mom.
But you have more than one soulmate. Just understand, out of 7.8 billion people on earth, God's got more people for you that are just right for you and who are connected to help you get to where you're supposed to be.
Right. Well, in this Walker and Tammy situation, honey, sister, I love you, but you had married a rapper.
I mean, there's certain cultures, there's certain industries that make monogamy, faithfulness, and
Obsolete.
marriage. Yeah.
Obsolete.
And you know, one of the things that I've witnessed in my matchmaking and in coaching is that women tend to love these high profile men, but then they don't like all the problems that come with them. And I think that inherently there's a lot of issues. There's issues with regular dudes. So you know there's major issues with high profile people. So, you know, sometimes it comes with the territory.
Always does. Sister, wow. That was so informative. You hear me?
Thank you.
You can catch Rebecca Lynn Pope on OWN Network as she hosts her new show, Marry Me Now. Soulmates and Maddie Mob. Stay locked right here to Turnt Out with TS. The show is only getting started, and you don't want to miss this. See you after the break.